No. No.
Hey everybody, welcome to another episode of Sultans of Swap. God, you'd think I'd get it in a eventually, but still not. So just SOS. We took a week off. We're back. I'm Brian, joined as always by Edwin Anderson. How are you, sir?
I'm doing great, and happy Super Bowl Sunday to everybody, and happy birthday to you, Brian.
Thanks, man. I appreciate that. I'm getting started a little early today, but it's my birthday, so I can do as I please. And also, as always, from the Sports Card Investor Mansion with his aunt, who's very curious today, is John Anthony. How are you, sir?
What's up, brother?
Not much, man. Just hanging out. So, first questions first. Who you got? Super Bowl. What's up?
Edwin?
Go ahead, buddy.
I'm going to pick Carolina.
Score?
I don't know. I'm going to say, I don't know. I'll come back to me. I'll think about it.
John, who you got, buddy?
Denver.
Really?
Denver.
With the spread or not the spread?
With the spread for certain, and here's why I say that. Look at what the NFL and the refs did for Ray Lewis and his going away party.
God.
What do you mean? You're laughing?
No way.
You're laughing. This is Peyton Manning's thank you for his service to the NFL. You don't think games are fixed? Wait a minute. You don't think games are fixed? Are you shaking your head because you don't think games are fixed?
I think some games have been fixed. I don't think the Super Bowl is fixed.
Really? So the San Francisco 49ers, the power going out, all the nonsense that occurred during that Super Bowl had nothing to do with the fact that the Ravens needed to win. They took all the momentum away from San Francisco and basically started. You're telling me the power went out in the Super Bowl? It was just they had a power shortage.
You think so? Hold on. I need a minute because I'm a little bit in shock right now. I didn't realize that you were the second gunman on the grassy knoll theorist.
Oh,
so here's
God.
my question.
What
proof? What are you basing this on?
I'm basing anything with any time where there's money involved, there's chicanery. There is more money involved in sports wagering than you can shake a stick at. What do you think is happening when two teams like Western Kentucky and Toledo are playing in a football game? Who's watching it? No one. So when the D-back that falls down, when the ref that's throwing crazy flags that no one sees, come on, man. You're smarter than this. There's too much money involved.
I do like to have just an inkling or a shred of proof that any of this is true. Like, who's controlling
so let's start
this?
back with the Arizona State scandal in college hoops.
No, but hold on. Let's go back to the San Francisco Ravens Super Bowl.
There's no direct proof, but when you... This guy's going to get me aggravated already. We just started the show.
But I'm saying, you're saying it was fixed. Who fixed it?
Let me ask you a question. Okay, I'm gonna respond to you with a question. Tim Donaghy, an NBA referee who coincidentally grew up in the same neighborhood that I grew up in. Okay, when he is fixing games and saying that it happens all the time, and he gives specific examples, a laundry list of the highest profile NBA referees that were fixing games from the finals all the way down to a regular season game. What you don't think that it happens in the NFL? It only happens in the NBA, right?
So it's the referees that are fixing the game.
They have a big part of it, and it's also the players.
The players are involved.
Johnson.
Who else is involved?
Who knows who else is involved? But if it's happened before, you don't think it's happening again? It's just happening on a bigger scale now. What?
Would it be bad for the NFL or the NBA or Major League Baseball?
The NFL product stinks now, Johnson. Let me ask you this. We should post a poll in the sport in any group. Who would watch the NFL if it wasn't for daily fantasy or sports gambling? I will guarantee you it's an incredibly low number in comparison to the number of people that watch and follow it because of gambling.
Yeah, but daily fantasy is not going to have an impact on outcomes.
I didn't say that it is. I'm talking.
Neither is gambling. I mean, it becomes a wash to a certain extent. I know a lot of money is bet on the Super Bowl, but you're suggesting that the Super Bowl is fixed.
I'm suggesting that any
outcome
game
is predetermined Because
I'm
you know,
saying
people
that
are
any
pounding Carolina, right?
I'm saying that any game, whether it's a preseason game or the Super Bowl, could be fixed.
So the San Francisco 49ers, when they beat the San Diego Chargers by 175 billion points in the Super Bowl in '93, who was going to fix that?
I don't know. Maybe the quarterback that was throwing pick sixes and there was nobody there. Who was the quarterback for the Chargers that year?
In '93, I'm going to go Stan Humphries. I don't know.
Whoever it was, I'm glad you brought that up. It's funny you brought that up because I remember exactly where I was for that game. I was sitting on Joe Larkin's couch in Springton Mews watching that game, and I swear to God. And the quarterback, he threw at least one pick six. There wasn't anybody. There was no receiver. He threw it right to the defender, pick six. You don't think this stuff happens? Are you out of your mind?
I think there have been incidents in professional athletics where the outcomes may have been fixed. But I think it's less today than it was in, a while ago.
Johnson, let me ask you a question. Oh, my God, you're going to get me wound up.
I think you're there.
Do you see how much nonsense goes on just on Wall Street with stock manipulation and shenanigans of that nature?
Oh, my God, dude, you're going to be the old man that just hates the government. This
is
insane. I'm going to be talking to you for 30 years, and you're going to be talking about how the government has persecuted you to no end.
Who said anything about the government?
Get a grip, man.
What are you talking about? There's a kid right now on trial that owned the vast majority of a drug company. He pumped and dumped it. It's all over the news. What are you talking about?
What I'm saying is that crimes do occur. I agree. But to suggest that the outcome of the Super Bowl we're about to watch this evening is predetermined, I think is crazy.
You're saying predetermined. I'm not saying that they're going to say, well, the score's got to be this.
I understand.
What I'm saying is this game is going to be a lot closer than people think. On paper, Carolina should crush them. Will it happen? Hell no.
Yeah, but what about like the Giants-Patriots Super Bowl a few years ago when the Patriots were undefeated? I don't think that was fixed. I think the Giants outplayed the Patriots that day.
You're picking out one specific game. I'm using this game, and it's very similar. It gives me the same feeling as Ray Lewis's last game. This is Peyton Manning. He's going to ride off into the sunset, winning a Super Bowl. That's his thank you for his participation.
Edwin, can you please add some sanity to this conversation?
Johnson,
I don't know if it's to that extreme, but I will tell you this: in sports, there are kind of the give me's and the freebies. Like I'll give you an example. When a guy's retiring in baseball, for instance, when Cal Ripken's last bat or Jeter's last bat, are they going to throw him, some serious heat, or they're going to kind of give him something that he can just kind of wallop? You know what I mean? And so the question is, does that happen in other sports? I think there's some of that going on, but I don't know if it's to the extreme of, fixing a game, so to speak.
Dude, I'm so aggravated by this, you have no idea. Actually, I want the Broncos to win, right? I don't think they're going to win. I think they're going to cover the 6.5, which I think is the spread. Is the spread 6.5 or does it come down?
I don't know. Whatever it is, this is going to be a really close game, and the Broncos are going to have a chance to win it. End of story.
See, but now, because you said that, I hope Carolina wins 49-0.
Me too.
Like, who I'm cheering for, completely changed based off of this conversation.
Terrific. I'm thrilled. I'm thrilled.
Why are you so angry?
I'm not angry. I'm just telling you, sports are fixed. It's 100% fact. It's a fact.
All sports are fixed.
Johnson, here you go again with these alls or nones. We're not going one extreme to the other. An NBA referee.
But I agreed with you. Some games have been fixed. There's no
and we will never know which games they are. My point is, any game on any given day could be fixed. End of story. It's undebatable.
Are you being spied on right now? Is it a government surveillance program?
Who said
what is going on?
You're talking about the government. I'm talking about sports being fixed.
No, but you will be. This is what I'm saying. Edwin, you know I'm right. 20 years from now, mark it down, John is going to be on here talking about how the government is spying on him.
Crazy.
Wearing a tinfoil hat.
You're out of your mind. Who said government? We're talking about something that's a fact. An NBA referee went to prison for fixing an elongated string of games.
Yes, I agree. That happened. That was terrible.
He wrote a book about it, Johnson. What are you talking about?
But how much of an actual outcome could he have on a game?
Tons, fouls. Okay, tons of things. In the NBA, if the spread's 5 or 6 and it comes down to it, you get a guy in foul trouble. The best player can't play. The guys are shooting free throws at the end of the games. A foul becomes an intentional foul instead of just a foul. It's 2 shots in the ball. A million things. What kind of outcome? Are you kidding me?
Dude, oh my God. So
he wrote a book about it, Brian. What do you think? He's lying? He went to prison for it.
Do I think a man who accepted money to change the outcome of games could potentially be lying? I think it's possible. I do. I think he might have fabricated a few things.
So let me get it. He went to prison for no reason. He didn't fix any of these games. He just wrote a book.
I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is that a person who's willing to accept money, because he had a gambling problem, so that's why he got into the game fixing, to try and make up for that debt.
Mm-hmm.
Do I think that he's a credible individual when it comes to writing a book? No. I think he's not credible at all.
Okay, so the fact it's not about credible and believing all of the intricacies. Do you believe or do you not believe that he was fixing games? Yes or no?
No, I do, of course.
Okay, so hold on. If you believe that he was fixing games, are you saying that he was just one little bad apple and it never happens?
I'm saying that the majority of the time that is the case.
Oh my God, Johnson. Anybody with a heartbeat is playing daily fantasy right now. Okay, so you don't think that guys that are in college see all of the other gambling out there and are betting on games? You don't think that guys in college who aren't making any money say, wait a minute, we can still win the game, but as long as I win by less than 20, I'm not hurting anybody? You don't think that happens?
I think that a college athlete would be risking a lot to do that.
And again, do you know how difficult it is to, number one, prove, or number two, even see? Who is watching Hawaii and Fresno State at 12 o'clock at night on a non-premium cable channel?
Actually, did you see there were a few tennis players that just got busted for that?
A few? There's a federal investigation into the ATP about tennis fixing. But I know it doesn't happen in sports. I know. There's a federal investigation into it.
Edwin, anytime you can jump in here and save this,
I'm loving it.
Really appreciate it, man.
Johnson, there is a federal investigation into match fixing.
I understand.
So does it not happen? What is it, a joke?
No, it does happen. I don't see how it applies to tonight's game.
My point, it doesn't apply to tonight's particular venue. All I'm saying is, I feel that Peyton Manning has been an iconic figurehead for the NFL. The man can't throw a football 25 yards. He has no business playing the game. I think any close call is going the Broncos' way to give them every necessary edge to have a shot to win this game. Because without that, they got no chance. Carolina's defense would marauder this guy.
What is this based on?
What?
What is it based on?
What's what based on?
Your feeling that you think that they're going to have a bias towards Peyton Manning to win the game tonight?
The same way that anybody else has a feeling that a team's going to win a game and they go and place a wager on it. The same way that you feel that Denver's going to cover the 6.5. That's what it's based on. It's based on a feeling.
I do.
There you go. That's my feeling.
Right. Now I haven't bet on this game yet. I think I'm going to go pound Carolina pretty hard.
Go ahead, pound them.
Enjoyed everyone else. Edwin, did you think of a score during that disaster?
I'm still stick to Carolina. I'm gonna say, I don't know, 21 to. I don't know. I'll tighten it up. I'll just say 21-14. How about that?
All right. So in that instance, you have Carolina covering.
Yeah.
All right. My prediction totally changed. I initially had Denver 23-21. I'm sorry, Carolina 23-21. Now it's going to be 49-0. Carolina running away. The game will be over by halftime.
Beautiful.
Oh my goodness.
All right, Edwin, do you want to transition this into something sports card related?
Yeah, let's jump into the kind of the new products and stuff. I mean, I know over the it's been about 2 weeks now since we've done the last episode, but 2016 Tops is out, and that seems to be ripping paradise right now for a lot of folks. It's obviously a set and product that most hobbyists can afford. So I think most online places that we kind of the local online watering holes for baseball card collectors. It's pretty much littered with 2016. So have you gotten any yet, or have you ripped into anything?
Not a thing.
Yeah, John, I
I
know you've opened some,
yeah.
right?
Yeah, I mean, we didn't hit anything huge. We hit some of the variations. We actually hit a 1-of-1 buyback. Can't remember who it was. Maybe Gary DiSarcina. But we hit like a Nolan Ryan, a Ken Griffey. It was pretty cool.
And the new buybacks have like a interesting little logo on them this year, right? It's if they kind of changed it up a little bit.
Yeah, they do. They're nice. I think the product is really nice. You know what I think would be awesome, and there's probably some law that doesn't allow this, but I love the design of these cards. What would be really awesome is when they take a shot of a player and it's looking into the stands, if it's actually people that were at the game, in those seats. I thought I saw a preview of a card that sort of looked like that.
Hmm.
Um, I'm sure there'd probably be some additional work that goes into producing them, but I think that would be awesome. Because
Yeah.
the fans are a part of the game too, right? I mean, it's the player, it's everything. I just think that would be really unique and really cool.
Well, I think at most stadiums, when you enter in there, then you're kind of you're consenting to being on screen or being rebroadcasted and that kind of stuff. So I don't know how crazy that would be. I mean, obviously there's fan shots in the background of other cards, but usually you can't make out who the people are. But that'd be so cool to be to see yourself in a baseball card or something along
Yeah,
those lines, to know which date it was or whatever.
yeah.
Going back to the other one with the buyback cards, actually I saw one last night. Somebody had pulled one and they showed it to me. It was a Ichiro buyback card, and the stamp was right on Ichiro's face. So the stamp placement, I think on those cards are probably left to be desired, because I think that's more of an automated process. If anything, I don't think that's like a human process, but the stamp placement, I think, on his buyback cards have left a little bit to be desired. But I heard that the buybacks with the autos were unlike the previous ones. So, for instance, previous buyback autos are usually it's a buyback card that's stamped and then the person signs the card, versus the other way around of it being a buyback card that already had an autograph on it that was then stamped.
Hmm.
Did you pull any of the autographed ones?
No, I did not.
Gotcha.
How many cases did you open, John?
Just two. That's it. I didn't want to do any. To
Jumbos,
tell you
right?
the truth, I didn't want to do any. I wanted to do zero. But it's just way. It's an incredible amount of sorting. But I got roped into it, so
Did you do jumbos or hobbies or what?
jumbos.
Nice.
Yeah.
Very cool.
I think it's unlikely, and I'm not trashing it. I can, to an extent, see the appeal. I think a pack, if you were to go to a store and buy a pack of the jumbos, I think they're like $15, somewhere in that range for a pack. I think a box is 100 and something, right around.
Mhm.
A hobby box is like 70, somewhere in that range. The 36 packs, and the jumbos are, I think, 10 packs, and then you get the thick stack and the guaranteed hits. Just not my thing, man, at all. I think it's again, I can see the appeal to some people, but like the buybacks with the stamps, I saw a guy pulled a 68 Rod Carew 101, with a stamp on it. I mean, I got a 68 Rod Carew. I don't need it stamped. I saw a 101 Mike Witt 1987 Tops today. Awesome. I mean, I don't get it. The thing that I do like about the products, though, are the pictures, man. I think Topps has done really well with, kind of capturing the essence of the 2015 season. Most famously, the Joey Bats bat flip, which I don't need to see that card anymore. I've seen enough. It's awesome, but God bless. There's 50 million copies of it. I guess it'd be cool to have one. My biggest problem, man, and it's always the same, is it's just such a low return on investment. I mean, you have to. How many cases would you have to open of Jumbo before you actually hit something worthwhile? Like, what is the big chase in 2016 Topps? Those cards that have a coin and a stamp in it, and then the medallion. I just don't get it. It's not my thing at all. Or the manufactured pins. I mean, I don't know. I don't get it.
I like where they're going though with the design and stuff. I think they're definitely pumping a lot of investment into that product line, and I guess that has to do with their licensing coming up and that kind of stuff with other products. But the new little booklet cards that they have with the
I saw that with like the laser die cut thing. That's pretty neat.
Different. They're changing it up, but like you said, at the same time, then we saw the return of the stamp and the coin, and it's like, it's cool once, but it's kind of the novelty factor kind of wears off on people, I think.
No, correct me if I'm wrong, but is that the first time that like base Topps has had like a booklet?
I would say I don't know the answer to that, and the only reason I'll say that is I know in Topps Update, they've done like the All-Star patches. Edwin, am I right?
Yeah.
The All-Star foldouts. Am I right? So. Yeah. No. To answer your question, no, I don't think it's the first time they've done some sort of booklet variation.
I was going to say for base Topps, the first kind of
but
booklet that
again,
I remember.
Look, here's the thing. We're going to have the same argument every single episode that we do. For you, it's the return on investment. I filled a break in 6 minutes, and they were angry that I didn't tag anybody, and they wanted to. If I would have posted 25 cases. I would have filled them all. Here's the thing. Not everybody's concerned about the return on investment. This guy wants a Tigers team set. If he gets a Miguel Cabrera auto or, a cool parallel, that's cool for him. It's the first product of the year. It's something to look forward to.
Yeah.
Same way that Edwin's looking forward to Museum. He can't wait. He's like ready to explode thinking about how excited he is for Museum. There's some people that are that excited for base Topps. They like the look of the card. I never realized there are so many guys that have incredible knowledge about pictures that are on the cards.
Yes.
I was reading in a group the other day where a guy said Topps used that same photo in this particular 4 years ago. And it's like, that's what some people like, man. They like the different photos. They like the parallels. There's guys that put those sets together. I'll tell you what. There's a guy in California has Allen and Ginter master sets, rip cards, the whole 9 yards, back to 06. There's people that probably have the top sets, the base set, the gold set.
Yeah.
Maybe some of these, and that's fun for them. There's still guys out there that like chasing the parallels or team sets or, so it's different strokes for different folks.
Oh, that reminds me. I have to get a 2015 base top set. Because I bought my oldest son, the 2011 set. So since my newest son was born in 2015, I gotta go back. I gotta buy him the 2015 set.
Nice. There's a couple sites out there that got them on sale. That's for sure.
What did you say? Why?
No, I understand why.
Oh no, I thought someone said why. Just because that's. I mean, whatever. I think it's kind of cool, to say, hey, these were the players, and this was the stuff when you were born. I think that's kind of neat.
Cool.
But,
so yeah, that's 2016 Topps is coming out. I mean that's pretty much on the market right now, and then of course Series 2 after that, so on and so forth. But
Heritage was pushed back. Heritage is now in March, so we're in a lull period here. We're in a, which I wish they would do something about this, man. This lull from, they pumped out some really nice products in December, which December historically from a sales standpoint. Late November, I would say mid-November through most of December is historically slow. Yep. This year it wasn't as slow. Bowman's Best was a really, really good product in my opinion. And then the higher end folks had Dynasty to chase. So after that, though, we had Dynasty, Strata, and Bowman's Best all in that lump in December.
I still love Strata, man.
Me too. We did a case last night. It filled while I was breaking something else. I posted it. It filled. We went right into that. That's another product. It's the stuff that you can get in there for the price you have to pay for a team is unbelievable.
Well, I just like, I mean, I know we brought this up on earlier episodes, but I've actually been enjoying going back through mine and looking up the actual games, like the actual days.
Yes.
And then looking at the actual, like, historical, like, what did that player do, even watching some of the videos of that player during that game and seeing them wear that jersey or that relic or whatever. I just think
they struck gold with that, man. I guarantee you're going to see that in more products.
Couldn't agree more. But then we have this lull from like mid-December. It's now, we're now February 7th where there's no product. So, and then now we're going to go again from early February till March.
What's still hanging around? National Treasures usually hangs around for a good bit.
National Treasures has terrific shelf life. Strata is going to have unbelievable shelf life. Dynasty, if the price was more reasonable, would have great shelf life. I've said it on numerous episodes. I'll say it again. What would be really awesome and help the manufacturer increase sales would be something unique like a registry. When something gets open, you register. And here's why I say that. Let's say that there's, I don't know, however many one-of-one cuts there are in Dynasty. If there have not been a lot of them hit, and you kind of have an idea of how much product was made, as you're going in and looking at this checklist, you can kind of get an idea. That's what would get people juiced up and say, wow, look at all these cuts that are still out there. Because I think it's safe to say the vast majority of people that are involved in modern cards today are computer literate enough to go on and do the registry. Plus, it makes it fun for the consumer, too. Like, I want to go register my card. This is awesome. You know what I mean?
Now, John, I'll get on board with your tinfoil hat conspiracies, but I think a lot of products are front-loaded.
I don't know that to be the case. Here's what I can tell you. You guys all say that. Here's what I'll tell you that I know in dealing with the manufacturer and the distributors. You guys say they're front-loaded. Here's the thing. Top Series 1 is sold out. I can't get any more Top Series 2. It's already sold out. It gets all shipped out at the same time. It all gets shipped out. What's that?
It's done. It's all out.
It's out. It's done. It's in circulation.
That's awesome, man.
So my point is, it's the luck of the draw. I just pulled a Tanaka logo, man, out of Strata. Product's been out for 2 months. Sold for $1,000. I mean, been out for 2 months.
Yeah.
So you guys, you're going to be a conspiracy theorist and say products are front-loaded so people keep.
No, I didn't say that. I wanted you to comment on it because I've heard people say that.
You just said they're front-loaded.
No, I said if you did the registry, right?
Oh, you think that there would be chicanery involved because there's money involved. No, it would be quite the opposite. If there was any chicanery, they would backload the product.
It's my birthday. What is going on?
Why would you front-load a product? That's foolish. Front-loading a product, if you had a registry and they actually played games, front-loading the product is foolish.
No, right, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, I don't think any of that goes on, Brian. I really don't.
Yeah. I actually like the registry idea to an extent, but I could see from a company perspective that being both a hindrance to a certain extent and a help. Because if you had, like, say, the Babe Ruth cut 1-1, and I mean, I know people that follow this already. Like, they're basically, looking to see when the Big Willie gets pulled. How much that impacts them buying products or not, I don't know. But, you see, hey, like, someone will say, like, hey, oh, by the way, the Ruth 101 already got pulled. So, like, they know it's not going to be in the case that they're buying.
But that doesn't necessarily do anything to the manufacturer because, as John was pointing out, I mean, all that stuff sold up front. So it's already out there in circulation. So they got their money for it up front. It's not like their return on investment is changing depending on what's pulled. But understand, when you got that pinnacle product in there that that cream of the crop, and everybody's chasing that one thing. Well, the chase kind of sours once somebody pulls that, right?
Right.
So, and then the retail value of those cards fluctuate. If everybody's still looking for that one-of-one, whatever it may be, the cost of those cards are starting to go through the roof the longer, folks are holding on to it. But then, on the flip side of it, if all the hits are taken, then what's going to happen to the value of that? So while it may not affect the manufacturer, it will affect, the retailers.
Well, so follow me here for a second. I think you can make an argument for both sides. And here's the thing. Most people are reactionary in the sense that somebody sees a really good case opened, they don't care what was pulled. They see it was a really loaded case. They want another one. So you can make the argument that even though something good came out and that's no longer available, people are really excited about the product. It gets people juiced up that they saw good stuff come out. And then it gets the guy who only cares about money, like Mr. Scrooge over there in that black chair, that would say, well, I have this % chance to hit this big card. And now somebody like you might get more involved. So it works both ways. I think it's a really great – I think it's a terrific strategy.
I don't just care about money. I care about value. I think there's a difference between purely focusing on the money and focusing on the value that you get. What I was suggesting is that 2016 Topps isn't a tremendous value.
Right. Well, and I think the registry would also kind of affect that too, because when you think about it, value is usually determined. Card value is like how many are produced. The lower production rates, the more expensive the cards are, the more rare they are, the more desirable they are, whatever the case may be. But if you do a registry and then you see 5 million people register the Joey Bats bat flip or whatever, you're gonna be like, well, this is overproduced. It's not that uncommon. I mean, even though you can kind of see that just watching the scene or whatever the case may be, I mean, they would have to basically roll back their, the covers basically and kind of show some of their numbers potentially.
Yeah. No, I know what you're saying. The only thing that I'll say about value, Brian, is this. When you're talking about specifically the 2016 top stuff, I'm over here looking at 2016 Topps autographs, and I'm having a hard time. Here's what I'll say. You pick any player. Well, let's go with the high-value play, the big-name players, the legends, so on and so forth. I would say that an autograph of one of those big-name players from the base Topps, just follow me here for a second, sells for more than an autograph numbered to the same amount from another product, because there are a lot of guys that only collect that base Topps. So when you say value, you're getting lower end players on the relics and stuff. But on the flip side, to play devil's advocate, when you get a nice autograph, a Sandy Koufax, a Ken Griffey, a Mike Trout, I think the autograph in the base Topps sells for more than a base autograph out of another, obscure product.
I will agree with that from the perspective that your odds of pulling it are significantly less.
Oh, 100%. I mean, it's very difficult to get them, but when you do, you get paid a little bit better. So, look, are you going to get $70 worth of value out of a hobby box the vast majority of the time? No, but it's also there's a lot more of that produced than there is a product like Strata. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah. So, I don't think Strata has base cards.
No, but I'm talking. Forget about the base cards. If we're talking about value, we're really talking about the relics and the autographs.
Yeah.
So, there's a lot less.
It comes down to the odds of pulling that card, right?
Right. That's what I'm saying.
You have a higher odds of getting a card in a high-end product than you do in that low-end product.
Yeah, but on the flip side, you got to see what some of these parallels sell for. I'm telling you, it's crazy. Some of these lower numbered parallels, not signed, they sell really well, and that's a little bit of an added value for folks when they're opening this type of product.
Does Series 1 usually precede opening day?
Yes.
Okay.
First product of the year, every single year.
Right. So between now and March, what is out there, John?
I would say nothing.
Nothing, yeah. But I think that may change, and the reason I'm saying that is, you look at what Topps, they're having their licensing issue with the football stuff, right? So now they're going to kind of refocus on their baseball, and I'm wondering if they will probably take a look at coming up because I mean, there is a certain thing about the unlicensed stuff, right? People are still going to buy it. I mean, like National Treasures and all the Panini stuff. I mean, it does good. Don't get me wrong, it does good. But you have a subset of folks that are like, oh, it's licensed. I'll never touch that stuff ever. So with that being said, I think now that they kind of lost that plug, maybe they'll be looking to fill that gap, and I hope they do. I hope next year, they go year round and drop out some good baseball product.
Are they still going to put out football products like Panini does baseball, or are they just going to be done?
Yeah, my understanding that they are because they have so many stickers and stuff laying around. My guess is they'll probably milk that until it's done and see, go from there. What I'd like to see Topps do, quite frankly, I'd really like to see them really step their game up. I mean, there is no reason to have guys like Daniel Corchino float. No, I'm serious. It's like, and last night I'm pulling these guys. There's just no reason for it. Like when you think back to just the design of cards, just look at Upper Deck. Upper Deck, I think it's undebatable. Their cards are gorgeous, whether they're licensed or not. Some of these Topps cards, man, are just, they're just not very eye appealing. I think Topps needs to really invest some time and some money into the product design, and that would excite people some more too.
Yeah.
So, Edwin, you brought up the licensing. I'd like to ask both of your opinions. As you guys know, we pulled 2 of the Babe Ruth booklets numbered to 5 in National Treasures, 1 of each copy, the Jumbo and then the Triple Relic, both of which can be found on my new eBay account, SCI Group Breaks. Or no, one is. The other one is on the owner's eBay. Both were pulled by sports card investors. Check out our YouTube. What do you think the value of those would be percentage-wise, the difference, if they were licensed versus them being unlicensed? And Edwin, for a guy like you who's a major super collector, if that was Cal Ripken, would it bother you?
If it's for the guys, I mean, there's super collectors of every guy, right? I mean, there's probably, there's whatever the case may be. But, for the stars and stuff like that, I don't know. I don't think there's a lot of value change in the licensing versus the not, just to be honest with you. Because at the end of the day, I think some folks obviously look past that. And the licensing versus not subset is a smaller subset than the people who are just, pure hobbyist super collectors. So, there could be a small drop there, but I think it's nominal, at least from my perspective, on what that would have been licensed versus unlicensed for the Babe Ruth or for a Ripken or something like that. So I don't know, Brian, what do you think? I mean, licensed versus non-licensed on a star, high-end pull.
I've noticed because I collect a lot of Clemente.
Yeah.
That there's not much of a difference for the nicer stuff, meaning when it's like, bat, jersey, patch, that kind of thing. It's very small, if any. They typically end up in the same range. If I had my preference, obviously I'd go with a on-card or a licensed product, but, for what the market bears out, I mean, typically I find at that level, Clemente, Ruth, Mays, Aaron, Musial, Koufax, whatever, they tend to end up right around the same spot.
Yeah.
And I think what particularly helps those Ruth cards is that they are national treasures. One thing that a gentleman pointed out to me that made a lot of sense, especially for the old-time players. Like, if you look at a Yankees jersey, it didn't have a lot of stuff on it anyway. It was pretty much, pinstripes, a little NY, and, it was very straightforward. I was actually looking at a 64 Topps Mickey Mantle that I had, and when I looked at it, the first thing that stood out to me was there were, no logos on it at all. So if Panini was to redo that card, obviously they couldn't. They wouldn't even have to do any airbrushing because there wasn't anything present anyway. So I think particularly for the older school guys, I don't think there's as big an impact on price for the reasons that I said.
Yeah, I think. Oh, go ahead. I was just gonna say, I think for the newer stuff, I mean, we're talking about the the older Hall of Fame stars, stuff like that. Like I said, I think the difference is nominal. But for the newer stuff like the prospects and things like that, I think it really comes down to not even so much the licensing as it is, just like you were touching upon a second ago. What does it look like? What is the quality of the relic? How many colors are in this thing? How nifty is it? Is it a logo? Is it a laundry tag? That kind of stuff seems to make much bigger of a difference than
Yeah, it does.
because you can have two of the same card. One has a 4-color relic in it, and the other one is just a plain Jane piece of the jersey, and of the same limitation. Like maybe they're both of 25 or something. But obviously people are chasing eye appeal on that. I think that makes a bigger difference in the licensing.
The jumbo is going to be worth more than that triple.
Obviously. Here's my take on it. We opened a lot of Diamond Kings last year. A lot. And we're going to open a lot this year. And I think they are gorgeous cards. And for the value, it is really tough to beat the value there between the inserts, the parallels, and the hits. Okay? What I will tell you is, from what I saw last year, they sell for significantly less than a licensed product, and I think significantly. I think the cards are gorgeous.
The stickers killed them, dude. There are some people that are just crazy about the freaking stickers. I don't happen to agree with it.
There's a lot of people that if it's a sticker, they don't look at it
at all. Edwin knows.
Yeah, I'm kind of on the fence. I mean, as a Ripken Super Collector, I prefer on card any day over a sticker auto. But if I'm going to get a sticker auto, I get a little bit more particular with it because it's very easy for those autos to run off the stickers, and sometimes the sticker placement's not always key, and it's just it just I guess some products wear the sticker a lot better than others. You know what I mean? And but yeah, I mean, there's many collectors that just they'll turn their nose at that sticker auto and just like whatever.
But even the relics, I mean, that product is so loaded with Hall of Famers. The checklist for 2015 Diamond Kings is unbelievable, and it just I don't feel like they sell for what they would sell for if they were licensed, which blows my mind because I think the cards are gorgeous. I think a relic is a relic. And to me, the uniform is cool, but aren't you buying as a collector? Aren't you buying the relic, or are you buying the picture on the card?
But I have a choice, and that's what it normally comes down to. If I'm going to spend $50 on something, I'm going to spend $50 on the licensed patch on card over no patch sticker unlicensed. I think that's. I suspect that that's the norm.
I think you got to look at the whole package too. I mean, I think the design of the card, appeals to people over others. Sometimes, there's certain cards that are, while it may have a amazing relic in it and it, has a sticker auto, you just don't like the look of the card, and you're just like, I just don't like this product. And then there's other products like me in museum collection. I love the look of the product, and I'm like, hey, it has sticker autos in there. I mean, granted, there's a lot of sticker autos in that product, but there's also a fair shake of on card, like large autographs. But regardless of the fact, I mean, I like the look of the product, so I'm willing to kind of overlook some of those things. So I look at the bigger, like the bigger package, and I think a lot of people do that too.
I actually ended up buying a good bit of Diamond Kings this year, and I agreed. And the reason that I bought them were because I personally liked the look of them, and they were a lot cheaper.
It's like tech. Yeah. Tech. I mean, people love it or hate it. And they look at that tech and they're like, wow, this is just awesome. Or they.
I really like high tech. I've said that a few times.
Yeah.
Well, guys, I don't want to cut you short. I enjoyed it. I'm going to go eat some birthday cake. If you're listening out there and you have any conspiracy theories that you want to send to John, please do so on our Sultans of Swap Twitter and Facebook page.
I can't wait till the Broncos keep this game close. I can't wait. I'm going to post all over your wall the entire game.
49-0 Carolina. They're running away with it.
Yeah, let us hear your Super Bowl predictions. If you're watching this before the game, let us know what your predictions are. I'd like to see them.
I like it.
You
Hey,
got me
man,
so wound up I had
guys.
to go have a sandwich.
All right, I appreciate it.
Thanks,
And
guys. Happy birthday.
Happy
thanks, man.
birthday, Brian.
See you, Edwin.
Bye, everyone.